Hey guys, it's your girl Princess and welcome back to my channel. As promised, I am here to show you guys how I will construct and install my hair that was provided to me by Majestic Tresses. Once again, I have the Malaysian Kinky Curly hair. I have two 22-inch bundles, one 20-inch, one 18, and a 16-inch closure, okay? So first let me show you what I'm using. I'm using this weaving net cap, okay? This one right here, I think it was like $2.99 at my local beauty supply store. They do have a website. I'll leave that information in the description box below if you would like to order you one and you can't find this in your local beauty supply. Let me show you what it looks like in the I can't talk. Let me show you what it looks like out of the package. So as you can see, it has adjustable straps on the sides and it's mesh. Okay, and it's different types of netting. So there you go, there it is, and as you can see, the one that I have on my foam head right here has been cut to custom fit my head. Now what I normally do to get the fit is I'll wash my hair and braid it down, do my braid pattern, then I'll put the cap, this just right on top of my head, and with the eyeliner pencil I'll just draw out the circumference of my head around my braids. That's what I normally do. Well, if you guys have been following my videos for the past couple of weeks, you'll see that I've been wearing box braids and I haven't taken them down yet, but I wanted to go ahead and make this wig so that when I do take them down, honey girl will be ready to go. So I'm not able to throw the net on my head and measure them because my braids are still up. So what I did was I used this tape measure here and I took measurements of my own head. So I measured around the circumference of my head, and from the crown of my head I measured to the area where I wanted my unit to stop. I measured down to the nape of my neck and to the right side of my ears, all starting from the temple area. If you guys would like to see a tutorial on how I did my measurements, please comment below and let me know, okay? And lastly, before I start attaching hair onto the unit, I want to mention one thing. I will be attaching a track of hair on the inside, so I'm going to flip this inside out and I'm going to attach hair along one track all the way around the perimeter, and then I'm going to take it off and then flip it back to the right way and then start to sew the hair. I'll show you guys what I mean. If you watch my previous video for Majestic Tresses, then you'll know exactly what I mean. But what that does is it just kind of covers everything, so when you pull the hair up it looks really smooth. It's a smooth transition between your hair and the unit, and if you choose not to leave any hair out, it'll just cover up all those tracks and the edge of your units, you know, so if the wind blows you can't see tracks or bumps or anything from your unit, okay? So I've talked enough. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'll be back. Alright guys, so here's my braiding pattern. Same one that I always do, very simple. Have a little bit of my hair out. There's my lace closure. I bleached the knots and I just attached a sheared stocking to it. Those are bobby pins I'm going to use to keep my lace closure in place. Now I'm just going to match up the part on the lace with the part on my head, of course. Just going to make sure that everything matches up perfectly. And once I get it positioned, I'm going to use those big bobby pins to hold my lace closure in place. Okay. Now I'm clamping down the front just to make sure that that doesn't move also. And I've already sewn down one part, and as you can see there, you can't tell where my hair begins and where that ends. Now we're going to do the other part. And with this, I am sewing my lace closure completely around. So I won't be leaving the front unattached. I'm not gluing it down, but I am sewing it. This is my first time doing it. I don't like my lace being loose and moving around and stuff. I want it to be attached because I'm very self-conscious about my lace closure moving around. So now I'm going to go ahead and start attaching the lace closure at the edge, sewing it into my braid. I'm using nylon thread because it's a lot thinner and it's easier to conceal than the traditional weaving thread. And as you can see, I've pulled forward some of the hair in the lace closure, and I'm sewing through the lace into my braid and out through the lace again. And I'm doing this in very small stitches so that it's not bulky and so that it can be hidden with the hair up front. Okay, see, there we go, one of those small stitches, very small. And as you can see, I'm feeling around just to make sure that I'm sewing into a braid because I want that to be anchored into a braid so that it does not move at all. And as you can see, that just really looks like scalp right there, but I'm sewing into the lace closure. And I'm going to do that all the way across until I get to the part, and then I'll end the thread and cut it off and secure it. Okay. And I'm just checking there just to make sure that that thread is being concealed. And as you can see, you can't tell it's there. And I'm going to continue to sew the rest of the front of my lace closure on. And you want to make sure, as I'm doing, that you touch around and make sure that you are sewing into a braid. You want every stitch to count because you don't want to put too many stitches that you don't need. So right there, I'm using a black eyeliner pencil. I actually got this technique from her name is Tiarra Monet. I think that's her name here on YouTube. She also sews her lace closure all around the front. And when she did her video, she used a black eyeliner pencil to conceal the little bit of lace that's hanging out to make it look seamless. And I thought that was a great idea. So I borrowed her method and I'm using it on myself, and I will be using it from here on out because it works, as you can see. So there it is. I have my lace closure sewn on. I'm just going to go ahead and clean up my part. And I'm going to take some tweezers. I'm going to tweeze the front of that lace closure just to make it blend in with my natural parting. And off camera, I'll go ahead and sew the rest of my lace closure on around the back. And as you can see, that lace closure looks pretty darn natural, eh? So I've sewn on the rest of my lace, and I'm taking my unit and I'm going to go ahead and sew that on just around the perimeter. We all know how to do that, right? Okay, so this is it. This is what the hair looks like after I finish installing it with no product or anything. As you can see, the lace closure is, the texture is different from the rest of the hair, but once it's wet down and everything, it blends in pretty good, and you'll see that in just a moment. So I just have water, mixed Chicks leave-in conditioner, which is my all-time favorite, especially on my hair. And this is some Frizz Buster by Fantasia and some scissors. So this is what the hair looks like after I wet it down, put leave-in conditioner and that Frizz serum on it. This is what it looks like. And it's still damp right here. It hadn't fully dried yet. And honey, this is what it looked like after I finished. I did cut it to give it some shape because the lengths on me were extreme. Like the line of demarcation between my 20 and my 22 inch, it was just, it didn't blend well. So to make it look better, I cut it. So that's it, girls. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please follow me on Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. Leave any questions that you may have below. Be blessed.